Remember what the Dormouse said. Feed your head. Welcome back, my beautiful people. Did you enjoy your reading assignment in our last episode? Paints a beautiful mosaic about what it's like to be a president, doesn't it? I wonder what the Clinton presidency would have been like. Anyways, today we continue our exploration of the Lincoln assassination. And to truly understand the forces at play, but in order to do so, we must first uncover the secrets of the shadowy organization known as the Knights of the Golden Circle, or simply known as the KGC. Ah yes, my friends, this isn't just a tale of a lone assassin and a beloved leader. This is a tale of power, of greed, and of a secret society that was willing to do whatever it took to achieve its goals. This is a tale that will open up your eyes to hidden, current events. Events that shaped our history, to the secret codes and symbols that are all around us, waiting to be deciphered. So sit back, pour yourself a cup of tea, and prepare yourself for a journey like no other. Because this secret society, my dear friends, is like the key to a hidden door. A door that once opened will change the way that you view history forever. You see, the KGC was a secret society that thrived during the 19th century. Their main goal was to annex a golden circle of territory in the South America, Central America, Mexico, and the Confederate States, and to create and control the Mediterranean of the New World. But instead of Rome being their capital city, they wanted to create a second capital in Havana, Cuba. Yes, the same place where the first black slaves were brought to this new nation. Yes, you heard that right. This group was hell-bent on creating a new seafaring empire built on the backs of slaves, a golden circle in the Gulf of Mexico. And their first order of business was to rebel against the Union and separate themselves from the North. Yes, that pesky, mostly Protestant half of the United States. Ever thought to yourself, how did so many troops in the South come together so quickly once the sign had been given by opening fire on Fort Sumter? Within 3 months of the sign being given, over 200,000 soldiers were already trained and assembled to fight. These are shocking numbers at a time when the fastest mode of communication was the telegraph, which was very limited in the South at that time. Also, what secret organization was funding all these soldiers? Well, maybe we can find some clues by peering into the life of General Robert E. Lee. General Lee kept a portrait of the Pope in his house and referred to him as the South's only true friend during her time of need. But they had their KGC agents in the North also. That's right. They were called Copperheads, silent and deadly, venomous snakes that liked to hide in the tall grass, waiting for their opportunity to strike. The Copperheads continuously caused problems for the Union, cutting telegraph lines, sabotaging the Union infrastructure, influencing the papers, and demonizing the people against Lincoln, who was not only fighting to keep the Union together, but also to undo the wrongs of our forefathers, who allowed such evil to continuously come to the shores of America. Now you might be wondering, what does all of this have to do with our beloved Lincoln? Well, my dear Mad Hatters, you see, Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation didn't sit well with the KGC and their benefactors. Lincoln's vision of a united and free nation was a direct threat to their golden dreams. So the KGC hatched a plan, a sinister plot to remove the obstacles standing in their way, and who better to carry it out but one of their very own, John Wilkes Booth, a highly ranked member of the KGC and an honorary recipient of the Papal Medallion of Agnus Dei, personally blessed by the Pope, a man of faith who despised the heretic of a president. Oh, hold on to your hats, dear disciples of truth, because this is where the plot thickens like a devilishly delightful dollop of conspiracy cream. You remember a good friend Charles Chiniquy, author of the literary masterpiece 50 Years in the Church of Rome? It was in this book that he mentioned how Montreal, Canada, was in fact a viper's nest of the Jesuit order. Well, wouldn't you know, it just so happens that our Southern Confederacy, who championed the Golden Circle, found Montreal to be the most welcoming refuge. Oh yes, dear Hatters, they didn't just pop over for a cup of tea and a chat. But what's this? There's more. Oh, indeed there is. Fast forward to the end of the war, and who should find seeking sanctuary in our Canadian haven but none other than Robert E. Lee and President Jefferson Davis themselves. But wait, there's still more. Let's rewind the tape a bit. Back 6 months before the assassination of beloved Lincoln, who do you find sneaking off to Montreal for a few days of sightseeing? Oh, I don't know. Plotting the murder of the president? That's right. It's our old friend, John Wilkes Booth, and his collection of merry conspirators. Isn't it just fascinating how all of these threads weave together to form the most intricate tapestries? If there exist any lingering doubts, any remaining reservations about the Jesuits' role in the demise of Abraham Lincoln, let me offer you an elaborate escape plan, and intricate as a spider's web. It was spun by the priests of Rome, the puppet masters pulling the strings of the assassination and the conspirators like a pack of rats. The assassins scattered in all directions seeking shelter. Our gaze falls upon one of the conspirators. His name was John Surratt, a patsy in Washington, who had lent a hand to Booth to carry out the assassination, who would provide him safe haven, who would shroud him with secrecy, concealing him from the watchful eyes of the law. The very priest who whispered sweet promises of protection, salvation, and glory, of course. A priest of the name by Charles Butcher, a puppet of the Jesuits, took Surratt under his wing, hiding him in his parish at St. Libre. There, Surratt remained hidden for months under the watchful gaze of the Jesuits, waiting for the opportune moment to flee. When the father who took Surratt under his care accompanied him on his journey to Quebec, he eventually had the opportunity to sail across the ocean back to Rome. And would you have it, he became a member of the Swiss Guard in the elite protection of the Pope himself. You see, in the eyes of the conspirators, Lincoln was considered a heretic, a soothsayer who convened with demons, and by their twisted logic, he was an enemy of God and of their property, for he dared to challenge the status quo, to dream of a world free from shackles of oppression. And in the eyes of the Church, this was an unforgivable sin, a crime deserving of the harshest punishment. So here we find ourselves, my delightful disciples of the deep, dark depths. The pieces of their sinister puzzles are falling into place, one damning detail at a time. Oh, the secret Treaty of Verona, ratified in 1822, was the starting whistle of this dangerous game. And who gave the shout, you ask? None other than Pope Pius VII, who in one swift move restored the Society of Jesus, the Jesuit order, which had been sent packing in 1773 by Pope Clement IV. Oh, but Clement didn't just slap them on the wrist. He called them out of exactly what they were: immoral, dangerous, venerable vipers in the bosom of the papacy. But of course, good old Clement got promptly poisoned for his troubles. What a surprise, right? And let's not forget the shocking silence of the Pope of Rome after the death of Lincoln. Not a whisper, not a word. And this, my friends, despite being the king himself of the Papal States. Now, isn't that a curious conundrum, my Mad Hatters? These are not coincidences. These are hard-hitting truths. But now you can see why these truths have been suppressed and hidden, because a seemingly holy organization was secretly plotting the death of a nation, just like they are doing it again today. You heard me right. If we fail to learn from the past, we are destined to repeat it. The truth is, my friends, it is a bitter pill to swallow, but swallow it we must, if we are to break free of these chains of ignorance and deceit. For the truth, as they say, will set us free.